This question asks, what was your first cold plunge experience like? It's actually a funny story. So I didn't really grow up playing sports where I was exposed to ice baths. As a matter of fact, I was a surfer. So the closest experience I ever had to an ice bath when I was younger was surfing during the winter here in Florida, which in my mind, my memory serves, it was very cold. We wore full suits, sometimes we wore booties, but I don't know if the water was ever under 75, 70 degrees. Maybe it was, but I don't really know. My first experience with an ice bath wasn't actually in an ice bath. It was actually in a frozen creek. It was just here in 2020, the end of 2020. A couple of my buddies that I work with wanted to go on a snowboard trip. They were all excited. They're like, hey, we're going on a snowboard trip, man, let's do it. You should come. I ended up going. My wife is amazing, and she allowed me to go on a guy's trip snowboarding. So we're out and we're snowboarding. We're having a great time. We're hitting the backcountry. I enjoy snowboarding. I love it. Having a great time. By the end of the day, we were beat up. So we got back to the Verbo we stayed in, and there was a hot tub there. Got in the hot tub. Kind of just seems natural, like a long day snowboarding. We're gonna jump in this hot tub and just wind down. So we jump in this hot tub, we're all chilling. And if you know that feeling when you get into a hot tub after a long day, like you're relaxed, you're about to fall asleep, you're feeling like you're about to pass out. One of my buddies is like, dude, there's a frozen creek back there. Let's go jump in it. And we're all like, no, man, like our parents always said, don't mix hot and cold. That's how you get hypothermia. That's how people die. Your body will go into shock, all these things. Because I wasn't really exposed to ice baths. I wasn't really exposed to what I'm exposed to now and what I forced myself to learn about because it's intriguing to me. So I like a good dare. So he's like, David, let's do it. Let's go do it together. So we did, man. We ran through the snow. We went down into this creek. Water was rushing through this little pass, and we jumped in there. Rocks were super slippery. But we got in the water, and it was incredible. And there was obviously snow on the ground. It was very cold. I don't know what the temperature was, but it was cold. It was definitely the coldest water at that time in my life I'd ever been in. So we get in there and we get out. And as we're running back to the hot tub, we feel like life just hit reset. Just felt this feeling. And if you've ever had an ice bath like this, or if you've ever had an experience like that, you know what I'm talking about. It was a euphoric feeling. We just basically felt like everything that happened earlier on in the day, all that exhaustion was gone. And it was almost like addicting. You know, we got out and we're like fired up. We're like, oh yeah, man. So we jumped in the snow. We're making snow angels in our underwear and our bathing suits. And then we jumped back in the hot tub. And that was the first time I got to experience that contrast therapy feeling, all in the same day. So I experienced cold plunging for the first time, and I experienced contrast therapy for the first time without even knowing what I was doing. And it was incredible. When I got back home, that's when I was like, I have to do that more. But I live in Florida, so there's no cold creeks, there's no cold water, and we don't even have snow. So I did have chickens at the time. If you are a follower of my channel and you've been with me for a long time, you know way back in the day I posted a lot of videos about building a chicken coop and my chicken videos. Well, I had this horse trough and I felt, okay, cool, this is what athletes do. Like they fill these horse troughs up with ice and they get cold. So I went to the store, I spent I think 50 bucks on ice, might have been more than that, and I dumped as much ice as I could in this thing, and it was great, man. We filled it with hose water, we put the ice in there, and within like 5 minutes the ice melted. But the water was cold, so I did get in it. My wife got in it, my kids got to get in it and experience our first ice bath at home. And it was amazing. Like we were addicted. So every day I would go to the store, I would pick up more ice, I would throw it in there. But I realized that like as I was doing this, I was spending a ton of money on ice. And the water was nasty because it was just stagnant water. So I was doing this and it only took me, I don't know, less than a week to realize this isn't gonna work. And that's when I built my first DIY cold plunge. And if you've ever seen that video, it's one of my most watched videos. And it was my original DIY. I had no intentions of this going anywhere or doing anything. It was my first DIY and it was great. But my first ice bath wasn't even really in an ice bath. It was in a frozen creek. I'm actually curious if you have a cool story about your first experience in cold water or your first ice bath experience, pop that down in the comments below. This is what I want to do. This whole series is going to be called Answering Questions, and I want to answer your questions. Any question that you have for me, post them in the comments below, and I'll follow up with a video answering your question. Make it a good one, all right? I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. God bless.